Fire Princess Lily here with another Transgirl C, where we talk about comics, cartoons, and other awesome nerd shit. So, last time I said that we would either be talking about OKKO, Let's Be Heroes, or we would be talking about the new Ducktales cartoon. Well, after a little debate with myself, which is kind of weird, I decided that we were going to be talking about the new Ducktales cartoon. Now, before we get into that, because I really want to get into that because it's so good and I loved it, I want to introduce you all to a new segment of our show. It's going to be called Things You Might Have Missed. Now, this will be about comic books that have come out recently, within the last month, for you to go and get, especially if you like collecting single issues like I do, so you're not waiting for a trade paperback, which, you know, it happens a lot. You know, you hear about something too late, you have to go pick up the trade paperback, and those are way more expensive than single issue comics where you can buy one issue and kind of decide if you like it, if you want to continue it. But hopefully you like these. So first up on this is Hi-Fi Fight Club. It is a super cute book. The characters are really neat. It's totally queer. A little bit of a refresher, because if you remember, I did suggest this in the June previews episode of my show. It's about Chris here, beep beep, and her job at a record store in 1998, and she's crushing really hard on this girl over here, poop, and then she discovers that they're actually like crime-fighting, mystery club type people, and it's going to be really good, super cute. But there'll be an entire episode about that comic because it's really great. Maybe once a couple more issues are out, and I have more to talk about. But really good. Definitely check it out. But moving right along, let's get into DuckTales. DuckTales is great, and this new show is really good. Not only is it perfect for people who grew up watching DuckTales like I did, it's perfect for people who have never watched a single DuckTales episode in their life. It really, it keeps the same kind of storytelling. The characters are extra fleshed out in the series. Great voice talent, too. Like, amazing voice talent. And even characters that weren't particularly the greatest in the original have been given this kind of new life, new persona, and I think it works really, really well for them. If you haven't seen the premiere, it is on YouTube. It's 44 minutes long, and I will be putting a link to that down in the description below. So definitely check that out, and you can check it out before you even finish this here. You can check it out right now and come back to me and we can talk about it, or you can listen to me yammer on about it a little bit and decide if you want to even view it. I totally suggest that you do. If you love the original cartoon, you're going to love this. If you've never seen it and you like Gravity Falls, you're really going to like this because it's kind of got like the best of both of those. And I think Gravity Falls in itself was, you know, a really great story. Monster of the Week, big mystery, and the original DuckTales was all about high adventure and mystery, so the two really work well together in the sense of their storytelling styles, and that's what the new DuckTales cartoon manages to achieve. I mean, you know, so we kind of got into it right there, but let's pump the brakes a little bit and go into a little history about this show, about the original show, at the very least, and about the characters. So, Scrooge McDuck, who is the protagonist of the series, first appeared in Disney Comics by the Dell Company, not the computer people, but Dell. The story was called Christmas on Bear Mountain. It was issue 178 of those comics, or was it 187? It's one of those two. It was 4 comics. And it was so well liked that Carl Barks, the creator of Scrooge McDuck, got to make a comic called The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck, which basically were about Scrooge's adventures and treasure finding and so on and so forth. And that was really popular, so they turned it into a TV show, or a cartoon, called DuckTales, which premiered on September 18th, 1987, and ran until November 28th, 1990. There were 100 episodes and one full-length feature film that actually went into theaters. It's one of the only Disney movies that started out as a small screen production and went to the large screen. And that, I don't think there's any Disney cartoon that's done that since then. And and that's just really incredible. Like, it was that good. And and for it being so good, it's the reason why a lot of us grew up with it, because even if you were born in the late 80s, the early 90s, you still saw Ducktales growing up because it had such a replay value because it's so timeless. The episodes don't date themselves at all, which is always kind of a fear when you're rebooting things. Like the Powerpuff Girls uses the new one at the release uses a whole lot of updated in-jokes, like twerking and memes and etc. And one day, the new episodes of Powerpuff Girls are going to seem really old because it's dated itself. Whereas DuckTales didn't have that problem. They're timeless. They can be placed at any point and still be kind of relevant. Sorry, I have an itchy nose. So, yeah. DuckTales is also the reason we have cartoons like Darkwing Duck. As you know, Launchpad McQuack moved on. They put Launchpad McQuack. Sorry. From DuckTales into Darkwing Duck, and Darkwing Duck is also an amazing cartoon, and DuckTales is why we had it. I've already said that. It's also why we have Quack Pack, and Quack Pack's terrible, but we'll forgive them for Darkwing Duck. DuckTales had a huge cast of characters that were all really interesting, other than Scrooge, and of course his nephews. There was, like I said, Launchpad, who became such a fan favorite that he got to move on to a different cartoon. There's also the Butler, whose name I can't remember, and it's probably why he's not showing up in the new show, because, well, he didn't leave much of an impression on anybody. You have the Inventor, Fenton, something. He'll be actually the new one, so, I mean, good for him. Gizmo Duck. But more importantly, you had Webby, Vanderquack, and Mrs. Beakley, two characters that actually went on adventures with Scrooge and the nephews, especially Webby. In the original cartoon, Webby was a very girly girl, and a lot of the times the nephews didn't want to have anything to do with her. They've really updated her for this generation, for this time, in that she has a much better personality. She's more outgoing, more adventurous. She seems to be kind of a Donald Duck fangirl, because apparently Donald Duck is like a great adventurer who went on all these adventures with Scrooge, and she loves him. Mrs. Beakley also got updated too. She was like a very doting old woman, very worried about Webby's safety, and then, you know, the boys, everybody's gotta be super safe, and she was kind of annoying. But if you're gonna have Webby, you gotta have Mrs. Beakley. But they updated her. She is... she's awesome. Sorry to giggle like that, but she is really awesome. Like, she is big and super buff, or maybe that's just her build, and she doesn't take crap from anybody. There's a point, and hopefully you watch before you watch this, because it's gonna be a little minor spoiler, where she throws a pin at Scrooge, misses, but the pin goes through the wall. It embeds into the wall. Like, Mrs. Beakley been hitting the gym. Like, it's awesome. It's really awesome. But the premiere is two episodes worth of stories. One about the nephews meeting their uncle, and then an impromptu adventure. And the second one being an actual adventure that Scrooge plans out, and then they go on. And all the while, Donald's at a job interview, then he's on the first day of the job, and everything kind of intersects at the city of Atlantis. And if you haven't watched it, I'm giving some minor spoilers, but kind of to get you into the story. So I really hope that you're going to watch it after this, or that you've watched before this, and you will be denying yourself a real privilege. Other characters who kind of have an update are Huey, Dewey, and Louie themselves. Originally, they all had the same voice, same sort of personality, which is also a problem in Quack Pack, but we're not talking about Quack Pack. I just have bad memories. Yeah, they all have kind of these different personalities. Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Huey, the red one, sorry, I get confused by which one is which I think is why they've updated them, is so that we know who we're talking about. But Huey's got kind of this friendly, outgoing charm. Dewey is really laid back. No, I'm sorry. Louie is really laid back. See, I keep having to go through the names. But Dewey is, outgoing. He wants to prove himself. He wants to be remembered. He doesn't just want to be another one of the triplets, which I guess is a story we've seen before in comics, cartoons, and other media that involve twins and triplets. You don't want to be the one that kind of blends in. And it's really kind of the focal point of the second story, and it's done in a really nice way that doesn't detract too much from the aesthetic as a whole. Which sounds like there's more to that than there was. There's not. That's the whole sentence. Anyway, that's a face of death. But it's really, this cartoon is everything that you've ever loved about Ducktales, and then some. It is great on the adventure aspect. There's a little mystery to it. And the jokes are great. They're a little rapid fire sometimes, but they're really well placed. So you get good humor in with your adventure, which is nice because, those cartoons are kind of disappearing. Star Butterfly versus the Forces of Evil. That's not getting as much playtime as it should, in my opinion, and people are really overlooking it. And that's because of the way the industry currently is about cartoons in general. That's why you have so much Teen Titans Go, because they're really easy to create. But I think that DuckTales is a great step in the right direction to bring back overarching storylines in a cartoon that has comedy aspects. And so I think it's going to... they're banking on an old property name that everybody loves, but I think it's a good bank, and I think it's really going to help bring more story cartoons into the forefront, because I can't take more Teen Titans Go and other shows kind of like it. I need that story, which it's funny that we're going to be talking about OKKO next episode, because there is a little bit of a story, but there's a lot of gags to it too. But I'm really enjoying it. So that's it for this one, obviously. We've talked until we can't talk anymore. Go watch DuckTales. It's great. You're going to love it. I promise you. If you don't love it, you have free range to complain at me in the comments section. But let me know what you think when you're done, because I'd love to hear it. Next week, OKKO, Let's Be Heroes, or we're going to be talking about what you should be looking for in November, because the previews book comes out this week. So, kind of got to do it as soon as possible. But we'll see. I'm Fire Princess Lily. This has been Transgirl C, and until next time, enjoy comics, enjoy cartoons, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.